They blocked my driveway on the day my father came home from the service. Not a joke. Not a misunderstanding. A cold official barricade with a laminated sign. Temporary community reserve. Unauthorized vehicles will be towed. My father had driven 16 hours in his old pickup to see his grandson for the first time in years. He deserved a porch, a handshake, a coffee. Instead, he got a toe slip and a phone number that went straight to voicemail. I walked out wearing my shirt my dad once gave me. The one with the seams still worn where he hugged me goodbye at 18. I found the HOA president standing by the barricade, clipboard at the ready, smiling like a man delivering a verdict. "Sorry, son," he said. "We had plans. This section's closed to non-residents." "My father's truck," I said. "He's visiting." "You towed it?" "We enforce community standards," he replied, as if that explained anything. There's a particular silence that happens when you realize bureaucracy has pointed a gun at kindness. My father sat on the curb, hands on his knees, windbreaker pulled tight. He didn't complain. He never did. He squinted at me like a man trying to remember a name, and then, finally he laughed a short private laugh and said, "You always did pick the stubborn side." I could have filed a complaint and waited for the HOA's internal process, a slow paper bleed that would have mended nothing. Instead, I went to the only place their laminated sign couldn't stand up to, the city. I applied for a parade permit, a lawful public procession to welcome veterans home. No trick, no vandalism, just paperwork, an application fee, and a solid legal argument. Veterans welcome ceremonies are protected public assemblies. While the permit worked its way through municipal channels, I made calls. Old friends, barbershop acquaintances, a veteran I'd met at a charity drive. I told them what happened. I told them my father had been away for too long. A few said no. Most said when and where. Within 48 hours, a convoy began to form. A dented army jeep, a pickup with faded unit stickers, an old ambulance with a generator that sounded like history. The city stamped the permit in the afternoon. The same HOA that loved policing flags and flower pots now had to swallow a legal parade. I hung flyers, crisp, respectful, blue and white, inviting the neighborhood to the welcome home procession. I told people it would be peaceful, legal, and brief. I told them to bring chairs and cameras. On the morning of the procession, the convoy rolled down the main street like a memory. Flags snapped. Horns saluted so loud they startled the birds. Folks lined the sidewalks, wiping eyes. The procession turned into our cul-de-sac and halted in front of the barricade. Men in uniforms helped an old man down from a cab. Children handed my daughter a bouquet that smelled like the park. The HOA president stood at the barricade, paper thin now, calling for order into a small radio that meant nothing. The tow truck driver looked like a man who'd just been handed a different script. A city officer, calm, official, clipboard clean, walked up, read the permit, and placed a hand on the barricade. "This is a permitted event," he said. "You will allow passage." There was no fight. There was no vandalism. There was a line of veterans carrying a mattress of memory and putting it gently on our street. My father was hugged, saluted, and then sat in a lawn chair that someone had carried across the asphalt for him. The neighborhood clapped like a single relieved heart. The HOA tried to fine me for disturbance, and the city recommended they rescind their tow and issue a formal apology. The local paper ran a short piece titled, "Community Rallies for Veterans Homecoming." The headline didn't mention the barricade. It didn't need to. The image of my father smiling in the sunshine told the full story. That night, after the last salute, I poured my father a cup of coffee and watched him sip. He looked at me, and for once I didn't have to explain anything. He squeezed my shoulder with hands that had handled heavier things than paperwork and said, "You did good. If you'd have stood with us, type salute, like, and subscribe for more stories."